What if I told you there was a direct path to a divine state, a secret, hidden, not in some ancient book or a faraway temple, but in something you're doing right this very second? Today, we're going to unlock an ancient technique that finds ultimate reality in the simplest act of all, breathing.
So, to really get why this secret is such a big deal, we first have to understand the problem it was meant to solve. Ancient Hindu texts like the Garuda Purana start with a pretty stark observation. This world is fundamentally rooted in sorrow. Life is run by this inescapable law of karma, like a massive cosmic balance sheet of cause and effect.
For centuries, the main way people tried to navigate this world of sorrow was through what you could call an external path. This was a life built on a really complex system of rules, rituals, and the direct and, often pretty severe consequences of every single thing you did.
And texts like the Garuda Purana laid this all out in incredible detail. I mean, every action had a super specific reaction that would shape not just this life, but your next one too. Get this, if you ate a meal uninvited, you could come back as a crow. Steal a lamp, and you might be reborn as a beggar. It was a universe where every single deed was meticulously tracked.
So, the solutions they offered were all about doing things, about action and purification. To handle your karma, you had to protect virtue with truth, you had to cleanse your body with water, and purify your soul with sacred learning. This path was all about carefully managing your external life to rack up good points, so to speak. But this whole thing raises a really profound question. What if this incredibly detailed system of external actions, what if it wasn't the only way? What if there was a more direct path to freedom from all this sorrow?
And that question, right there, marks a massive turning point in spiritual thinking. Does the final answer really lie in what we do on the outside, in this endless accounting of our karmic balance sheet? Or could it be found in what we can discover within?
You can really see the split here. It's like two totally different approaches to life. On one side, you've got the path of action, playing by the rules, managing the consequences, all inside the system of karma. But on the other side, you have the path of awareness, which suggests something completely different. Just witness your mind, directly experience your true nature, and realize the self that's already there inside you.
This is such a core idea in traditions like Kashmir Shaivism. Here, liberation, or moksha, isn't some reward you earn for being good. It's not something you get in the future. It's simply the act of uncovering the divine essence that is already your true nature, right here and right now. It's more of a revelation than an achievement.
Okay, so this brings us to the most important question of all. If this ultimate reality, this divine nature, is already inside us, how in the world do we actually access it? How do we uncover it?
Well, for starters, the answer isn't just sitting in a book. The Garuda Purana itself has this great line that says you can study the holy text your entire life and never get it, just like a spoon never knows the taste of the soup it's carrying.
And nope, it's not exclusively found in a holy place or during some special trip. Those things might help, for sure, but the ultimate key isn't tied to a physical location.
The secret, according to one ancient tantric text, is found in the most intimate and universal process there is. It's hidden in plain sight, in the silent, empty space between your inhale and your exhale.
So where does this incredible insight come from? It's from the Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. And this thing is not a book of heavy philosophy or complicated ideas. It's a practical manual, a list of 112 direct, hands-on techniques for experiencing the divine for yourself.
And one of its most powerful techniques is this incredibly simple observation of the breath. You just watch the breath come in, you watch it go out. But the real magic, the discovery, happens in step 3. You focus all of your awareness on that tiny moment of absolute stillness, the gap, sometimes called the Sandy call, where the in-breath is done and the out-breath hasn't even started yet.
So, what's the big deal with that tiny, silent moment? According to this text, why is that little gap so incredibly powerful?
This verse tells us everything. In that center point, you're not breathing in and you're not breathing out. For just a split second, your body is completely, totally still. And in that moment of perfect physical stillness, your mind is invited to become still too.
And why is that? Well, think about it. Your mind is always living in the past or the future, right? It's constantly chewing on what happened or planning what's going to happen next. But in that gap, there is only the present moment. There's no movement, no past, no future. There's nothing for the mind to do, so it just stops.
And without that constant fuel of thoughts, the thinking mind, that chattering voice in our heads we call me, our ego, it can't sustain itself.
It needs thoughts to survive. So when the thoughts stop, the ego simply dissolves, kind of like a wave just melting back into the ocean. And this is the ultimate payoff. Once all that noise from the thinking mind just falls away, what's left? What's left is your essential being, pure awareness, your true nature. The text says the form of God appears, not as something out there, but as the very essence of you.
So, let's bring all of this back home. What's the big takeaway? What does this ancient technique mean for us today, in our busy, non-stop, chaotic lives?
The main takeaway here is really practical. Our thinking mind, the source of so much of our anxiety, literally cannot exist in the pure present moment. So by anchoring your awareness in the stillness of your breath, you're basically stepping outside that whole stream of thought. And in that silence, the ego dissolves, and you find a peace that doesn't depend on anything outside of you.
You know, ultimately, this whole path just flips our normal way of thinking on its head. We're always looking for happiness or salvation in the future, after we get that promotion, after we retire, after we fix all our problems. But this technique shows us that liberation, peace, our divine nature, it can only ever be found in one place, right here, in the now. So, the question this ancient wisdom leaves us with is a really personal one. In the constant noise and rush of your modern life, you are carrying around a portable, always-on sanctuary of complete silence. It's always there, waiting for you in that quiet space between two breaths. The only real question is, will you take a moment to find it?